Hello everyone, I just want to share a new feature that is available in the Post-it Note Racing plugin version 1.0.5.2 and newer. This version includes a feature that allows the plugin to override SimHub JavaScript functions, specifically the functions that are in this list. As you can see, this list includes many driver gap functions as well as driver position functions. This allows you to do things like report live position in iRacing, as well as retrieve more accurate gaps. And what this means by providing these overrides is that this plugin can provide better data to dashboards without dashboard developers customizing their dashboard specifically for the plugin. All that is necessary from the developers for them to use the previously mentioned JavaScript functions and for them to enable global JavaScript extensions. As an example, this is Lovely Dashboard 2.6.6, and we can see that this is the standings widget. And if we look at how they're calculating the interval, we can see that they are using driver gap to leader and that global JavaScript extensions are enabled. So this particular widget will work out of the box with the Post-it Note Racing plugin. So here's a replay of a LMP2 race or an IMSA race, and we have that standings widget being shown, and if we simply go into the plugin and override JavaScript functions, we will get data from the plugin instead of native. So this is going to provide better gaps. It's a little difficult to see in something like a standings widget versus something like a relative widget. However, in this particular dashboard, the relative widget does not use the previously mentioned JavaScript functions. As an example of something that can be modified fairly easily, if we look at the class opponents widget, we can see these are values that are currently coming from SimHub. If I turn this off, we see no change whatsoever. And we're seeing some fairly large fluctuations, 1.2, 1.3, back to 1.1, 0.3, 0. These are over fairly small periods of time. We're seeing, multiple tenths, likely it being attributed to the issues we're all aware of with braking zones and acceleration zones using SimHub data. If we look at the dash, here's the function that the developer is using. This function is using the previously mentioned JavaScript functions, but the dash does not have global JS extensions turned on. So if we turn this on, as an example, and pull up that dashboard again, here we can see that the JavaScript functions are turned off, and we're seeing those big swings. If we turn the JavaScript functions on, instantly they've stabilized. So these are something that I would consider more accurate. This one, we only changed the upper, so this one is still showing us native SimHub functionality, but this is showing us data from the plugin. And we're seeing, in my opinion, more consistent data using the plugin, which is using calculations via the mini sectors. So if we turn this off, it'll revert to the native functionality, and we'll see these large swings that are happening during acceleration zones and braking zones that we're all familiar with. One place where this does break down is ovals. So like full course cautions, obviously the best lap is a very poor indicator of gaps because, perhaps you're traveling at 200 miles an hour on a green and 45 miles an hour under yellow. So that's not necessarily an issue in iRacing, at least on road, but if your sim also has full course cautions or you are doing oval things, this may not be an option for you. Or I should say more accurately, you can still use the override JavaScript functions, which would give you accurate position data in iRacing, but you may want to turn off the gap calculations via minisector. So this goes back to the native SimHub functionality. And if I turn this off, we'll see EA Layton's numbers switch back to SimHub numbers. So if you are an old person, this may be a configuration that works for you. And so hopefully that provides an idea of what the new overrides allow you to do and how they can potentially be integrated fairly easily with some of the dashes that are already out there and available to us.